Hello, welcome back to some 1947 Strat-O-Matic action. Today we have our second matchup on the channel of the Dodgers and the Braves. This is a rematch of opening day between Ralph Branca, who is famous for the shot heard around the world in 1951 to Bobby Thompson. However, he had a very good year this year as a starting pitcher for the Dodgers versus Warren Spahn. On opening day, they battled to a 1-0 10-inning affair where Spahn was able to win that one. So both great pitching performances, and Spahn came out on top. That was opening day. So that was in Ebbets Field. So we are now in Boston, and we have a rematch of that opening day matchup. So I thought this might be a good one for the channel. So this is the first day of Sunday, or the first game of Sunday, April 20th. There's 11 games on slate today, 5 in the National League, 6 in the American. We have 3 double headers today. So for this particular series, this is game number 1. They play today and tomorrow, so just a quick 2-game series. The Dodgers come in at 2-3. The Braves are 3-3. Boston is ahead 2-1 in the head-to-head series, as they took 2 of 3 in Brooklyn to start the season. So at this point, starting out on Sunday, April the 20th, the Cubs are leading at a 4-1 clip. St. Louis and the Giants are 3-2. Boston, Philadelphia comes in at 3-3. Brooklyn and Cincinnati at 2-3, and Pittsburgh, who won their first game yesterday, come in at 1-4. So that kind of sets up the National League, and we will get this game started. So we are at beautiful Braves Field. As you can see, we have an average day. In real life, they didn't play this game for some reason. I'm assuming it was a rain out. But I'm doing as scheduled with no rain out, so we will be playing this game today. And so here we go. So leading off, I will be managing the Braves. I've managed most of their games. I'm kind of finding I have favorites, and so I tend to manage those, but not always. Again, it's kind of fun. I enjoy the computer manager a lot, and so, not having a dog in the fight necessarily, I can pick whoever I'd like to manage in a particular day. So today I'm going to go with the Braves because, again, obviously Milwaukee Braves is my favorite team in baseball history, and Warren Spahn was a big part of that Milwaukee Braves team. So at any rate, Eddie Stanky will lead off. He is off to a horribly slow start. He is batting .087, and he had 103 walks. He only has 1, so he's not even getting on base for the Dodgers. So they're going to need him to do better at that if they're going to do better than 2-3. So that's a 2-5, and he's going to hit a fly ball out to right field. Tommy Holmes is out there, and he'll put it away for out number 1. Actually, to center field, rather. Spahn is a lefty, so that'll be Hop out in center field. We'll put it away for out number 1. That brings Jackie Robinson up. He's hitting .286. He has a double and a triple. So the rookie first baseman will take his. He went 0 for 3 versus Spahn on opening day. That's a 3-6 versus the lefty, and that's another fly ball out toward Hop. He will come in a few steps and put it away for out number 2. That brings up Pete Reiser. He's hitting .350 with a couple RBIs, and he has a double to his credit. Playing left field today for the Dodgers, Carl Furillo in center. That's a 4-11, and that's a single check versus a lefty, and you need a 1-3 here. As you can see, Braves Field is pitcher's park, so that will be an unsuccessful single opportunity. And so he hits a grounder back to Spahn. And Warren throws it on to Torgerson to end the inning. So the Dodgers go in order here in the first. After half an inning, Dodgers nothing, Braves coming to bat. Tommy Holmes is off to a good start. He had hitting .480, a double and a triple. Playing right field today for the Braves. Ralph Branca, again, was 0-1 with a .9 ERA. He again came up short on that 10-inning duel with Spahn last time they faced. He was 21-12 with a .267 ERA with a save. So he had a very, very good year. So Tommy Holmes will step in, left-handed batter versus the right-handed pitcher. That's a 3-9, and that's going to be a hard grounder to shortstop. P.V. Reese, the fine shortstop, will field it and throw him out for out number 1. Johnny Hopp had 2 putouts in the top of the inning. Get his crack at Branca. He's hitting .222 with an RBI. That's a 4-8 versus the lefty, and he's going to draw a walk. So Branca is got a 3R rating as far as the splits, so he is better versus the righties. And the Braves have 5 lefties in the lineup today. Hop will draw a walk. He is a decent stealer. Branca holds at a +5. So we will see if we can get a lead here for Johnny Hopp. Edwards throws at a -2, but obviously with that +5 hold rating, Branca puts Edwards at a bit of a disadvantage. And he is not able to get the lead. He still has a 1-10, but we'll hold up on that. That brings up Bama Roll, who is hitting .214. Again, left-handed batter. He has a +9 advantage on the split between his and Branca's. And that's a 6-6, and that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Carl Furillo, who has a -5 arm. Oop. Now he's a strikeout. Bama was a lefty, so I need to pay more attention. So that's 2 away. That brings up Bob Elliott, who's off to a slow start. Does have a couple home runs. Nobody has over 2 in the National League. There's quite a few all tied at 2 home runs for the league lead. Hitting .174. Again, his first year with the Braves, coming from the Pirates last year. That's a 6-5, and that's going to be hit hard down to the rookie Spider Jorgensen at third base. Comes up with it, and he fires across the infield for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. We've got 1 in the books, no score. Warren Spahn will face 4, 5, and 6 here in the Dodger half of the second. Dixie Walker will step up, .286. He does have a couple doubles, 4 RBIs. That's a 5-9, and that's going to be a fly ball the opposite way. Dixie Walker goes with a fastball, but outside fastball, but Roll is there. Puts it away for out number 1. Carl Furillo is 0 for 4 in limited play, getting his second start today. He did have a good year, though, at .295, 88 RBIs. That's a 5-6, and that's popped up on the infield. Furillo not able to catch up with a high Spahn fastball. Gets under it, and Fernandez at short will put it away for out number 2. 2-way, nobody on for Bruce Edwards. He's hitting .316 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Dodger catcher. That's a 3-7, and that's going to be a hard grounder to Fernandez at short. Fernandez will field it cleanly and throw across to Torgerson, and that'll do it. So for the second inning in a row, the Dodgers go in order. Looks like Spahn's picking up where he left off on opening day. You go to the bottom of the second, nothing. Earl Torgerson, I believe he is a rookie this year. Let me just double check that. Boston. Yep, he's a rookie this year. Highly touted rookie. So far, he's off to a slow start, however, hitting .077 with a double and an RBI. Gets a 5-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to Eddie Stanky at second base. He fields it cleanly and retires Torgerson for out number 1. Phil Massey's off to a pretty good start, hitting .316. He has a couple home runs, 5 RBIs. Hit .304, 9 homers, 50 RBIs in real life, so good hitting catcher. 112, and that's a home run check, but unfortunately Braves Field needs a 1. So again, a pitcher's park here in Boston's Braves Field. It's a 13, so that'll be a deep fly ball out to Pete Reiser in left field. And he will put it away on the warning track for out number 2. Connie Ryan is hitting .316. As an RBI. Actually, I'm sorry, he's hitting .136. His numbers hadn't come up yet. That's a 3-7, and he is going to proceed to strike out for the second time of the year. Second strikeout of the game for Branca. It looks like Ralph Branca has picked up where he left off on opening day. So through 2, both pitchers throwing blanks. Spider Jorgensen, the third base Dodger rookie, is off to a very good start, hitting .526. He has 3 doubles already. See what he can do here versus Spahn. It's a 2-9, and he's going to strike out. So Spahn gets him with the big curveball. After feeding him inside fastballs, Jorgensen not able to chase that one, and that'll be strikeout number 1 for Warren Spahn. Pee Wee Reese is hitting .167 here early in the 1947 replay. He gets a 1-7, and that's going to be trouble. It's a 5 on the 20-sided die. So he hits that one to center field deep. That's over the head of Hop. He will chase it down. Racing hard is Reese into second, and he will coast in there for the double. So Pee Wee Reese got all of that one. Liner over Hop, and that'll bring up Ralph Branca, who is a 1W. So I'm going to lead the infield back. I don't think they're going to bunt, and they're not going to. Again, Branca not much of a hitter, but anybody with a bat is dangerous, and that's a third base X. So Elliott, who is a 1 in range, has a 21 air rating, so he can make some errors. So hopefully he'll field it cleanly. He gets to it, and he gets a 15, and that's going to be a 2-base error. So he fields it cleanly, but then he throws it away. Reese will score, and Ralph Branca will end up on second base. So costly error by Elliott. He sails that one over Torgerson's head, and Branca will end up at second. That's Eddie Stanky. Again, struggling. Down to 083 now. And that's a 110. And he's going to hit a ground ball down to third. Elliott will look Bronco back to second. On to first at number 2. So Stanky's woes continue. That's Jackie Robinson. He is not a clutch hitter. His 1-5, 2-2, 2-5, and 2-8 all turn to pop-up. So see what Spahn can do with Jackie Robinson here. That's a 5-7, and he's going to strike him. Let's see. He's going to strike him out. So 4th time this year Jackie Robinson is struck out, fooled by the Spahn changeup. And Spahn will get out of it without any further damage, but the Dodgers get a run on a hit. Costly error. 1 runner left on. The Dodgers now lead 1-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Nanny Fernandez will lead off here for the Braves. He is 1 for 10 so far. Normally Dick Colorman's shortstop. That's a 1-5, and that's going to be a solid single to right field. Fernandez goes the opposite way. That's the left field, so he actually pulls that one. First base hit of the game for the Braves. Fernandez is 4-6. He gets a lead. 10, he's thrown out. So we'll go ahead and see if Spahn can bunt him over. Spahn's a 2W. Oop. Then I want the bunt. So he lays down a good bunt. Jorgensen will have to hurry and just barely nails Spahn as Fernandez goes into second. 5-3. That brings Tommy Holmes to the plate. He grounded out to short. Fernandez runs at a 14 out there at second base. So tying run on second. Again, Holmes hitting .462. No RBIs, though, so far. That's a 3-6, and that's going to be trouble. He gets a 2 on the 20. And that's a liner into deep right center field. Nobody's going to get that one. That one bounces off the wall. Furillo is trying to get it. And that'll be a double for Holmes, his 2nd of the year. Fernandez will score easily from second. And we have a tie ball game. RBI, it's the first RBI and the 2nd double for Holmes. He runs at a 12. So Johnny Hopp, who walked his last at bat, we'll see if he got the go-ahead run on second base. 1 out. That's a 4-3, and that's a single chance. Lefties are 1-3. So again, Braves Park. Well, actually, a 4-3. Braves Park is stingy. So that's a line drive to Stanky. Holmes rushes back to second and will get there safely. So 2 away for Bama Roll. Again, a 200 hitter so far. Ralph Bronco looking to get out of this with only the 1 run. And that's a 2-7, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Hit pretty hard, but right toward Furillo. And that'll do it for the Braves. In the 3rd. 1 run, a couple base hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. So after 3 complete, we are knotted at 1. So Warren Spahn, we'll see if he can keep the Dodgers at bay here. He will face 3, 4, and 5, the heart of the Brooklyn lineup, starting with Pete Reeser. Grounded out to Spahn, his first at bat. That's a 2-3, and that's going to be a walk. So that's the first walk Spahn has given up today. Reeser, who is a pretty good stealer, Spawn holds at a -4. So he has a good move for a lefty. Massey throws at a -1, so go ahead and hold Reeser, but I don't think he's going to try to go anywhere. Dixie Walker flew out in his first at bat, and they're going to let him hit away. And that's a 2-7, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Takes a few steps to his right and puts it away for out number 1. Carl Furillo popped up to Fernandez at short in his first at bat. Again, just 0 for 5 is his second start of the year. That's a 4-6, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to be, Furillo gets all of that one. That's deep to center field. Bounces high off the wall. Hop chases it down, but not before Furillo is into third with a triple, and the Dodgers have regained the lead. So Furillo just missed hitting that one out of here. And that gets his first base hit of the year, 3-bagger. And 2-1, Brooklyn. So this being a game like this, I think we're going to go ahead and bring the infield in. Edwards grounded to short his last at bat. Still hitting 300. That's a 6-6, and that's popped up on the infield. So Spawn does a good job here of getting Edwards to pop it up. Bob Elliott will call for it, and that'll be out number 2. Big out there for Warney. So Spider Jorgensen is not a clutch hitter. His 3-2, 3-3, and 3-9 all turned to pop-ups. Still hitting 500, however. He struck out last at bat. That's a 4-9. And that's going to be hit hard down to second base, but Ryan is there. He will toss it on to Torgerson, and that'll do it. So big RBI triple for Carl Furillo puts the Dodgers up. We go to the home half of the 4th. Brooklyn 2, Boston 1. Four, 5, and 6 due up for the Braves in their half of the 4th. Bob Elliott grounded out his first at bat. Still, again, off to a slow start. That's a 5-8. And that's a second base X. Stanky is a 2-13, so a pretty good fielder. But he gets a 2, so how about that? And he gets a 9, so there's no error, but he won't be able to get to it. He does get to it, but he throws it on one bounce to Robinson, and Elliott beats it out. So that'll be an infield single for Bob Elliott. Stanky just not able to get there. Elliott, not much of a threat to steal, is going to be held, however, because, again, Bronca's +5 is. So if he gets a 6, he gets a lead. That's 11, he's automatically out. And we're going to give it a whirl here. But Elliott not able to get a lead, so Torgerson will hit away. So the rookie's hitting .071. He grounded out to second his last at bat. That's a 6-8, and he's going to whiff. Not able to catch up with the Bronco fastball. Strikeout number 3 today for Ralph. That's out number 1. Phil Massey flew out in his first at bat out to Pete Reeser in left field. That's a 6-7, and he strikes out. Nice change of pace there by Bronco. Had Massey way out in front. And 2 strikeouts in a row. And that brings Connie Ryan to the plate, 2 out. Bob Elliott on first base. Elliott runs at a 12. Connie Ryan struck out his first effort. Again, Ralph Bronco with 4 strikeouts coming into the game. Warren Spahn was leading the National League with 9 strikeouts. That's a 6-4, and that's a center field X. Ferrello has a cannon of an arm at a -5, but he's a 310 as a fielder, so see if he can get this one. It's a 17, so he gets to it. 8-11 and makes the play. So Ferrello chases that one down in deep right center field. Got a ways to run, but he will catch to it or catch up to it, and that'll do it for the Braves in the 4th. So they waste a leadoff single as Elliott doesn't get any further than first base. And we go to the top of the 5th, 2-1 Brooklyn. Pee Wee Reese will start things off here in the top of the 5th. He doubled and scored. That was his 3rd double of the year. That's a 6-9. That's a shortstop X. Fernandez, who is the backup shortstop, is not a good fielder. He's a 456, so we'll see if he gets to this one. So he gets a 15, so he gets to it. Gets a 14 and makes the play. So always exciting when you get an X for Fernandez, but he makes that one for out number 1. Ralph Bronca reached on a costly throwing error by Bob Elliott. Again, he's a 1W hitter. And that's a 6-7, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Can of corn for Hop for out number 2. Eddie Stanky really looking to get out of the slump, starting to get into his head now. He will hit with nobody on, 2 out. Average down to .08. Well below the Mendoza line. That's a 1-6, and that's going to be a solid single. So he pulls that one in between Elliott and Fernandez. Neither one of them can get to it. Bama Roll will toss it back into the infield. Stanky will retreat back to first base. He is not a base stealing threat. He does run at a 13. So we're going to play Torkelson behind him. Jackie Robinson is 0 for 2. Again, 0 for 5 so far versus Spahn. That's a 6-9, and that's another shortstop X. So testing the fates here with Fernandez at short. We'll see if he can get another one. So he got a 6, so he won't get to it. And he gets a 15, so at least he doesn't make an error. So that's a bouncer up the middle and past Fernandez. And the third base coach, Ray Blades, is going to hold Stanky at second. So Jackie Robinson with a base hit. Put runners on first and second. 2 out for Pete Reeser, who has walked and scored. Robinson runs at a 17. Stanky at second runs at a 13. So good speed on the base paths for Brooklyn. That's a 5-4, and that's a third base X. So Elliott has great range, so he will get to it, but he does have a 21 E rating, so he's already thrown one over Torkelson's head today. See if he can make this play. So he does get to it with an 8, and he gets an 11, and he's going to commit yet another error. So Elliott, that's off Elliott's glove, and everybody will be safe. So Elliott having a rough day on the field. It's his second error of the game. Pretty sure he was the MVP of the National League this year. So not playing MVP caliber baseball right now. So the bases are loaded for Dixie Walker. He has flied out twice. Spawn looking to get out of a pickle here, with Brooklyn already up by 1. That's a 2-6, and that's a walk. So that's something you're not going to see too often. Spawn walking the bases loaded. Dixie Walker with patience, waits him out. It is 3-1 Brooklyn. That brings Carl Furillo, who hit a triple for his first hit and triple and RBI of the year. He is clutch. His 312 turns to a pop-up, so he's pretty evenly either way. So this is definitely a clutch situation. That's a 3-7, and that's hit out to center field. So it looks like Spawn's going to dodge a bigger bullet, as Hop will run that one down to end the inning. Well, another run by the Dodgers on 2 base hits. There was 1 costly error by Bob Elliott. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Brooklyn now leading 3-1. So we got 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Braves here in their half of the 5th. Elliott Fernandez rather singled and scored. He's hitting a .182 here early in the year. That's a 4-9, and he's going to draw a walk. His first walk of the year, the second walk of the day by Ralph Branca. Fernandez is automatically out on a 10. So we'll just go ahead and let Spani bunt. Jackie Robinson charge it, picks it up, fires to first just in time to get Spawn. So Warney is able to get his second sacrifice of the day. We'll go 3-4 for out number 1. That brings Tommy Holmes, who hit his second double last at bat and his first RBI of the year. We'll see if he can get to Branca here again. He represents the tying run. That's a 5-12, and that's a first base X. Robinson is a 2-22. So he gets a 7, so he does get to it. 6-7, and he's going to make an error. So Jackie Robinson hits one down to him. And Robinson boots the ball. So we'll put Fernandez on first. So that's the 3rd error of the game. First one by the Dodgers. I believe that's the first error of the year for Jackie Robinson. Might be a costly one. Puts the tying run on first and the go-ahead run at the plate. So Tommy Holmes, if he gets a 2, it's about an automatic. So we're going to see if he can get that 2. And he does not, so he will not attempt. So that brings up Hop. They got runners on the corner. The Dodgers are going to play back for the double play. Hop is an excellent bunter. The infield is back. Want to stay out of the double play. Could do a suicide here, but we need a couple runs, so I don't really want to give up that out. So we'll let Hop go ahead and hit away. Hopefully he can avoid the double play. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. That's a 3-6, and he's going to draw another walk, so that's going to load the bases. As Hop has waited Branca out for 2 walks so far. That brings up Bamarola with the bases loaded, 1 out. The Dodgers are going to stay back at double play depth again. Roll is struck out and flied out. So bases full of Braves. Big at bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Roll hitting at just 188. No RBIs. Would like to pick up his first one here. That's a 5-6, and he needs a 4 and got a 17. So it's going to be a line out. Hit it hard, but right at Stanky. That is an important second out for Ralph Branca. So it's up to Bob Elliott. With those 2 errors in the field, he would definitely like to redeem himself here. He has an infield single so far today. So his 2-8 turns to a pop-up, so a little bit of not of a clutch player. But again, he has 5 RBIs this year, 2 home runs. And I missed the tower once again. That's a 3-8, and that's going to be a harmless fly ball out to center field. So Elliott not able to redeem himself at the plate. Will fly out to Carl Furillo to end the inning. So good job by Branca. No runs. There were no hits, 1 error. They leave 3 runners on. And we go to the 6th. 3-1 Brooklyn Dodgers. Of course, Brooklyn won the National League pennant this year. The Braves came in 3rd. The Cardinals were 2nd. The defending National League and World Series champs. So Bruce Edwards, who is 0 for 2, will start the top of the 6th for the Dodgers. That's a 3-6, and that's a solid single. So Spahn not pitching quite as good as he did on opening day. Of course, Elliott at 3rd hasn't been helping him a lot. But that's hit number 5 for the Dodgers. Edwards is not much of a steal threat, so we will play Torkelson behind him. And Spider Jorgensen. Looks like he is tried to bunt, but he goes to 1 and 2. Interesting strategy. They are not going to keep the bunt on, so he will hit away with 1 and 2. And that's a 2-7, and that's hit out to center field. A lot of fly balls to center field today. Hop will race over to left center field and put it away for the out number 1. Pee Wee Reese hit his 3rd double and scored. 1 away. Edwards runs at a 10 at first base, which is pretty average for a catcher. That's a 4-5, and he needs a 1 for a homer, and he is an in, but he got a 5. So 4-5. Gets a 5, so that's just going to be a deep fly out to left field. Bama Roll will head to left center, and next to the wall, put it out away for number 2. So Ralph Branca, see if he can help himself. He is a 1W, 2 out. Edwards on first. He reached on an error and flied out in his 2 at-bats this game. That's going to be hit hard down to Elliott. Elliott's able to field this one. And he throws on to first, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 6th. We've played 5.5 here at Braves Field. Brooklyn Dodgers 3, Boston Braves 1. So Ralph Branca doing a good job here against the Braves. We'll start with Earl Torkelson, who is 0 for 2. That's a 6-6, and that's a strikeout. So strikeout number 5 for Ralph Branca. Swung on and miss. Curveball below the knees, and Torkelson did not hit that one. So the rookie seeing some major league pitching today. He's retired for the 3rd time today, twice on strikeouts. Phil Massey is 0 for 2, and he's been struck out once. That's a 2-8, He needs a 16 to get a single. Got a 5, so he will indeed get his first hit of the game. Hit number 4 for the Braves as he lines it up the middle. Messi can steal if he gets a 4. He doesn't have an automatic out, so we will see if he can get that 4. But he's not able to get the lead. Connie Ryan is 0 for 2. 1 away. Messi runs at 11 at first base. That's a 3-11, and that's going to be hit down to the third baseman, Spider Jorgensen. He fires onto Spanky, but Massey coming in hard will take him out. And Stanky's throw to first, not a lot on it. And Connie Ryan, who runs as a 13, will beat it out. So nice hustle by Ryan and Massey that time. So that's 2 away. Connie Ryan on first base. If he gets a 7, he will get a lead. Again, Bronca holds at a 5. Or plus 5. But again, we're not getting the rolls for leads today. So Nanny Fernandez has walked and singled, scored a run. That's a 1-4. And 1-4. It would have been out of here, but got a 13 on the 20-sided, so that's just going to be. Hang on a second, I hit the wrong button. Undo that one. And that's a 1-4. 13 on the 20. And that's a deep fly out to left. But Reeser will track it down. Out number 3. Six innings in the books here. Brooklyn with a 2-run lead. Got the top of the order for the Dodgers. Eddie Stanky, who singled and scored in 3 at-bats. We'll start off here versus Spahn. And improves his average to 115. That's a 4-8. And versus a righty, he needed a 9 for a single. Got a 13, so he will be retired. 4-8. 13. Line drive to Elliott at third, out number 1. Jackie Robinson singled and got as far as third in the 5th. 1 for 3 today. His average up to 292. Gets a 3-9, and that's going to be hit hard down to Elliott. Elliott's able to handle this one for out number 2. Two-away, nobody on for Pete Reeser, who has walked and scored. Reached on an error by Elliott. That's a 5-4, and that's a third base X. So far, Elliott has has not shined on the X's, his X chances. Let's see what he does this time. So that's a 12, so he gets to it. 10, and he makes the play. So how about that? Elliott able to make a good play on this one, and that will retire the Dodgers in the 7th. So we go to the 7th inning stretch here in Boston. Brooklyn up by 2. Our trivia question: name 2 of the top 3 Major League base dealers in 1983. 1983. I gotta say Ricky Henderson. I don't think. Probably Raines. How about Raines, Henderson, and I'll go with those 2. Hey, how about that? I got 2 of them. Ricky Henderson had 108. Tim Raines with 90, and Rudy Law, who I never would have guessed, had 77 with the White Sox. So the trivia master is successful again. So Warren Spahn will lead off here at the bottom of the 7th. They're going to go ahead and let him hit, because this is 1947 after all. He has got 2 sacrifice bunts today. That's a 2-5, and if he gets a 6, he got a single, but he got a 14. So he's a 2W hitter. So he just misses a single that time. Eddie Stinky will throw him out for out number 1. Tommy Holmes has got a double and an RBI. Ralph Bronca doing a good job against the Braves. That's a 5-5, and that's a solid single to center field. That'll be a 2-hopper out to Ferrillo. And Tommy Holmes on with his second base hit of the day. Again, he needs a 2 to get a lead. We will try it. 3% chance, and he's not going to get the lead. So we got 1 out. Johnny Hopp is walked twice. And that's a 1-5, and that's going to be a slow grounder to second base. Stinky will charge, and all he can do is throw out Hop at first, as Home will make it to second. 2 out. So Bama Roll is 0 for 3, hitting just a $176, no RBIs. Would like to pick up his first one here. He represents the tying run. He is definitely not a clutch hitter. His 3-2, 3-5, 3-7, and 3-9 all turn to pop-up. So hopefully he can overcome all that. It's a 5-6. He needs a 4 to get a 1-star single, and he got that 4. So not able to get the run in, but at least he keeps the train moving along. So that'll put runners on the corners. For Bob Elliott, again looking to redeem himself, as he has had a rough day in the field. So far, he has an infield single in 3 efforts. See, Bama Roll. Let's see. You almost hate to steal. See if he steals second. He's got a 1-16 chance. So I'm going to take that chance. That'll put, if he can get the lead anyway. There he goes. So let's see. Is this a risky chance? And a 3. Oh, how about that? I think that's going to be a T chance. Edwards is a 13 T rating. And he will not throw it into center field. I wish he would have. That would have been good. Bama Roll with a stolen base. Let's see. They may walk Elliott here. Let's see if they do or not. Got Torkelson on deck. No, they're going to pitch to Elliott. So Bob Elliott with runners on second and third. The tying run on second. Again, Elliott looking to redeem himself from a poor day in the field. He gets a 6-6, and once again, he hits a harmless fly ball out to Ferrillo. So Elliott is not having an MVP day. No runs on 2 base hits, no errors. They leave 2 on. We go to the top of the 8th. 3-1 Brooklyn. Earl Torkelson is, or rather Dixie Walker has walked in a run. His 5th RBI of the year. Other than that, he's flied out twice. That's a 2-6, and he's going to walk. Once again, so Spahn walks his 3rd batter, Dixie Walker, twice. Spahn's fatigue inning is 9. Dixie Walker will play behind him. Carl Ferrillo is 1 for 3 with a triple. Spahn wanting to keep this deficit to 2. That's a 4-11. That's a fly ball out to right field. He goes the opposite way, but Tommy Holmes is there. And it's out number 2, or out number 1 rather. Bruce Edwards is 1 for 3, the Dodger catcher. Walker runs at a 12 over on first base. And that's a 2-11, and that's going to be another walk. So Spahn getting wild here in the later innings. Oop. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't change cards. Or actually, I did change cards. Bruce Edwards is a 2-11, and that's a home run chance. But here, again, that's a ballpark home run chance, and he needs a 1. So we got a 14. So the ballpark saves Spahny today. That's a deep left field to roll, but he will get to it easily for out number 2. All right, so that brings up Spider Jorgensen, who is 0 for 3 today. So the rookie, still hitting .455, is having a tough day versus Spahn. And that's a 6-10, and that's a shortstop X. Again, Fernandez is not a good fielder. So far, he has done fine today. However, let's see if he can do it again. So he gets a 13, he gets to it, and he gets a 10, and he makes the play. So Fernandez having a good defensive day, even though he's not normally a good defender. And that will do it for the Dodgers in the 8th. So they leave a runner on the walk to Walker. We go to the home half of the 8th. The Braves still down by 2. Ralph Branca, his fatigue inning is 8, so he is in that right now. We will start off with Torgerson, who has struck out twice and grounded to second. That's a 5-8, and that's a second base X. Stanky is a 2-13, so he's above average fielder. See if he can make the play. It's a 13, so he gets to it. Got a 7 and makes the play. So nice defense by Eddie Stanky for out number 1. Phil Massey is 1 for 3. Hitting at a .318 clip. Getting a couple home runs, 5 RBIs. Boston catcher is off to a good start this year. That's a 3-9, but that's hit hard down to Reese at short. And out number 2. So Connie Ryan. Braves down to their last 4 outs. Ryan is 0 for 3. That's a 1-9. And that's trouble. He gets a 20. That's going to be... that's a liner into the gap in left center field. Nobody will get to that one. Duke Snyder in center field for defensive purposes will chase it down. Duke Snyder, the rookie, who will have a good future ahead in Brooklyn. So Connie Ryan with a 2-out double. That brings up Nanny Fernandez. We might want to bring in Color. I think we do. Dick Color, who's better defensively and offensively. Yeah, let's do it. So that'll be it for Fernandez, who had a decent. He was 1 for 2 with a walk. We'll bring in Dick Color, who pinch hit and then go in to play short. So that'll be it for Fernandez, who had a good day. Dick Color comes in hitting .444 with a double. 9 at bats. See, they may intentionally walk him, but nope, they're going to pitch to him. We do have Warren Spahn on deck. So that's a 3-3, and that's going to be hit down to third base. A slow roller to Jackie Robinson. He will fire across to Branca for out number 3. No runs on a hit, and Ryan's left on second base after 8 complete. It is 3-1. Brooklyn Dodgers. We will put color in it short, which will shore up the defense. So Spawn will start off with Pee Wee Reese here in the top of the ninth. Reese has doubled and scored. His second double of the year, or third double rather. I need to change that. I wrote 3, but it looks like a 2. There we go. All right. Again, Spawn trying to keep the deficit to 2 here if he can. And we missed the thing. That's a 4-5. He needs a 1 for a homer. Got a 5. Reese does have power, but not today. As that's a deep fly ball out to Bama Roll for out number 1. So we'll see if, interestingly enough, Leo DeRocher was the manager for the Dodgers. And in 1947, Happy Chandler, the new commissioner, banned him for the year, and it never was exactly for sure what he had done. Everybody was hushed to secrecy. So Leo DeRocher did not manage the Dodgers in 1947. I think Clyde Soothford did 2 games, if I remember correctly. We look at that real quick because that was actually very interesting. There's in my Baseball Digest, there's quite a few stories about it. Clyde Soothforth did 2 games, and then Bert Schotten, who was the antithesis to Leo DeRocher, managed the rest of the year and, of course, led the Brooklyn Dodgers to the National League pennant. They lost in the World Series to the Yankees. Let's see if they keep Braca in to hit. And they do. So they're going to hang with Braca. He's 0 for 3. That's a 3-4, and that's bounced back to the mound. Spawn with the quick reflexes. Stabs it and throws out for out number 2. Two out for Eddie Stanky. He's 1 for 4 today. He does have a run scored. Again, still off to a relatively slow start. He gets a 5-8, and that's a second base X. Connie Ryan is a 323, so see if he can make the play here. He gets a 9, so he gets to it and gets an 8 on the E part, and he makes a nice play. So good defense by Connie Ryan, so the Dodgers go in order. And we go to the bottom of the ninth, 3-1. Brooklyn Dodgers. So Warren Spawn's due to hit first, and we will obviously pinch hit for him. Ralph Braca trying to get his revenge from the opening day. Out ahead of Spawn here. So let's see. He's a righty. So all we have is right-handers on the bench. Go with Frank McCormick. Frank McCormick is hitting 500. He's 7 for 14, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. So in his platooning, he's doing very well. Right-hander Frank McCormick. Try to get something going here in the bottom of the ninth for the Braves. And Ralph Braca with the fine game so far. He pitched a very good game in opening day, but again came out the loser in 10 innings, 1-0. That's a 5-6, and that's a fly ball out to left field. Pete Reeser will get to it for out number 1. Braves down to their last 2 outs. That brings up Tommy Holmes, who is 2 for 4 today. Again, he's off to a fine start. He gets a 3-6, and that's trouble. Gets a 2 on the 20, and that is pulled into the right center field alley. And that bounces off the wall. Snyder again in for defensive purposes. Will chase it down. Throw it in, and Holmes slides into second with his third double of the year, second of the game. That brings up Johnny Hopp, who is 0 for 2 with a couple walks. So Braves threatening here. It's the 8th hit of the game for the Braves, as the Dodgers have managed 5. That's a 1-3, and that's popped up in foul ground. Jackie Robinson will race over toward the stands and put it away for out number 2. Braves down to their last out. Bama Roll is singled and scored in 4 plate appearances. That's a 1-9, and that's a slow grounder to second base. Eddie Stanky will field it cleanly and throw him out, and that's the game. Well, Ralph Branca and the Dodgers get their revenge. Look at the box score here real quick. So the Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. The Braves 1 hit, or a 1 run rather, on 8 hits, 2 errors. Braves leave 11 on. The Dodgers left on 7. Ralph Branca picks up the win to go 1-1. His ERA is at 0.95. Warren Spahn takes the loss. His ERA is 0.47. So these two guys have pitched some heck of a game. So Warren Spahn gave up 3 runs. Only one of those was earned due to Bob Elliott errors. The hitting stars, Holmes for the Braves had 3 hits and an RBI. Carl Furillo with the triple and RBI, and Dixie Walker, who walked in a run. And the other one was scored on an error. So again, not a great day for Bob Elliott, as the Dodgers improve to 3-3. The Braves fall to 3-4. The series is tied up at 2 apiece now, and so tomorrow, which is Monday, they will play the final game of this series. Johnny Sane will be going for the Braves. And for the Dodgers, they have Joe Hatton will be going for the Dodgers. So that should be another good matchup. So there you have it from Braves Field in beautiful Boston. Final score, Brooklyn 3, Boston Braves 1. And I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.